Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they're in a real groove of late, winners of 5 of their last 6 games. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And the offensive starters for Dallas.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
On third down, it's Prescott looking deep in the direction of Cooper, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes the Redskins offense as they get their first shot. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in 2019 from Ohio State. It's Dwayne Haskins.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly, they got a little bit of a mental break as well. That's going to help, too.
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Second down, Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Third down. Here's Haskins. Flush to his right. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here too after a good stop. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Prescott to throw it. That one complete. Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the counter, Elliott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Quick throw, and it's caught by Gallup. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Mark 56. They can't hang with us.
Prescott yet again. That's caught once again by Gallup. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. A first down carry by Elliott. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Prescott from the gun on third. And that's Elliott, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Pulled it good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Here we go.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Second and 10 now. Haskins. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really difficult.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check, 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 check. 26.
Here's Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. A first carry now for Thompson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Thompson. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 29.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk at the 20. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
They'll run on first down. Thompson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. Open man here, Sims complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points. Not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. You got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. A first down there on a pickup of 25. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
Keep playing hard.
That's good for a Cowboys first down.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
I know. Mike 56. Mike 56. Here we go, D.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half in some of these shorter games.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now a handoff, Geis going right. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. 10th carry now for Elliott, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The Cowboys on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They start on the ground with Geis. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling.
Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Prescott down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Right there, 56. Let's get out.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And again, it's Prescott. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw is Prescott. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up alive. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 40, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. In for the score, and the Redskins have taken the lead. A try here for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium, as they'll have to contend with the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well, one being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And finally, on Monday Night Football, should be a good one there, between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. In our game, it was Dwayne Haskins with a strong first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game, as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Geis with a carry on second down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give the Redskins 13 there on a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Haskins on first down. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On first down, this is Geis. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Escaping the pressure right. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with
And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington.
Nice touchdown, baby. Keep working.
Jordan Reed, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Another try after the first down sack. Prescott, Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. And now it's 3rd down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way.
Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Check 13. Check 13.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Haskins Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Draw play, Elliott. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, it's Pollard. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. On first down, Elliott. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Jonathan Allen. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Here's Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Now Bullock to add the extra point.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On second down, it's Thompson, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter remains here on this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On play action, Haskins. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
3rd down, here's Haskins. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 19-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He finds his target, it's Schultz. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since that the screen pass was available, Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
The first down run for Elliott will net him about 5 yards. It's second down. The tackle there by Fabian Moreau. Second and 5 now. Prescott. It was DeShazer Everett that time who got a hand in to break it up.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Prescott from the gun. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Now Prescott. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now it's Haskins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in the game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott looking for Cooper. That's complete.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Haskins will throw. And he's going to go down again. The sack by Robert Quinn.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Back 55, back 55. Not today, you are. Not today.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Fourth down. Here's Haskins going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right? But he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee you, he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 2, Prescott looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's Haskins and the Redskins. Down by 11, a minute 55 remaining. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Now on 2nd and 13, Haskins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They're going on 4th down. Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Again, it's Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee.
a loss of 1. Brings up second and goal at the 4-yard line.
One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on second and goal.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the fourth quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for the Cowboys, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.